Huh? Yeah,
Everyone's late.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll be here for a minute.
It is on. Is this for the recording stuff? How much time are you recording and how much is like condensed in each episode?
Recording takes about, honestly, it just depends on the event. It really varies. I'm not writing a script or anything. Each episode's condensed to like 10 to 15 minutes. So I hope that clarifies a lot.
Okay.
You're gonna be moving soon. I don't want you to leave.
I know, I don't want to
Then
leave.
that means I'll be alone again.
No, no. I wish I could stay. Finances are tight. New opportunities, other places. I'll be here to visit lots. But good thing is, you got Phil.
Cheers to that.
Imagine the match, my guy.
Thank you guys for coming. Also big, if it was up to me, we would have a speaker and like a bag of chips. So thank her for everything else.
Lorena!
And Tiana for the pie!
Yeah, all right, you guys can dig in, we can go.
Oh, hey.
Beautiful. Well done. That was well done.
I love it.
Turn it over.
I love it, my guy. Thank you so much.
I've been feeling kind of nervous lately. Let me just start off by saying, you know, the past, for about a year now, ever since I got let go from my job, I just haven't been successful landing other jobs or staying at jobs. And a lot of the time I kind of equated those experiences with my own personal value, just thinking maybe I'm doing something wrong or I'm just not good enough for people. But lately, something big has really been dropped in front of me, and God has opened a door where I can see myself succeeding. And maybe He's closed off all those other opportunities because He wants me to follow this opportunity. But I've been nervous because it's an opportunity that I don't know I'll get, you know? I don't know for 100% sure that I'll get it. But I've been overjoyed by the opportunity because it's a big one. But I also pray that if I don't get the opportunity, that I'm not disappointed and God will still help carry me through and remind me how blessed I am in my life. Because I don't want to be upset if I don't get it, you know? I don't want to have a bitter heart and think that He faked me out in some way. Because it's not in His character to do that. I feel like there's a reason He's dropped this opportunity in front of me, and I don't know, man. I really feel like this is the one for me. And I can't talk about it in detail because I signed an NDA form, but my life has just been trial after trial after trial, and it would only make sense for this to finally be the blessing that He's prepared for me, or the blessing that might lead to some other blessing. Even though it's hard for me to fully trust that He'll carry me through this process, God still works with imperfect faith. That's why in Scripture, you know, where it says, I think it's in Matthew 17, it says, if you have faith as much as is a grain of mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it shall move. Even the smallest amount of faith can do a lot. So I pray that I'm just able to not focus so much on the fruit of what's happening, but just retain faithfulness, that everything will be okay, regardless of the outcome. But it is nerve-wracking. You have to ask yourself sometimes, if everything else faded away, would God still be enough? And truthfully, He has to be. But I just needed to clear the air on that because I feel like God is entrusting me with great things. And I don't say that to boost my ego or put myself on a pedestal. I say that because I believe that. I don't feel I was meant for minuscule works. I was meant to do great things. And there are a lot of other people who are meant to do great things. I feel like my joy about the situation outweighs my fear of rejection. At the end of the day, I am still blessed.
I'm praying for you, my dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We're making progress.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on imperfect faith and trying to trust, but you internally doubt when it's unwarranted?
I don't think God expects us not to doubt. I think that it's human to doubt. I think God desires us to push past that and still trust anyways. And I don't think there's any condemnation in still struggling with that.
I can't help but think of the classic phrasing in Scripture, I believe, Lord, but help me with my unbelief. It's very expected, I believe, by God that we will struggle with our faith. And honestly, I think it's even semantically impossible to have perfect faith in something that is requiring our faith, that is like to be unseen. Like we don't know. Like there's a lot of unknowns. Like even when we fully believe there is a God who loves us, is all powerful, has our best interests at heart, we still have to interact with faith every day to continue believing that. Because there's many people who justifiably at some point lose faith. So I think it's the most real kind of faith. It's the only one that we'll ever get, as we understand that that's what we should allow ourselves to sit in instead of desiring perfect faith, quote unquote. It might be more freeing.
I wanted to talk about my anger towards God within my imperfect faith. I feel like the past few weeks, I've been filled with so much joy and happiness, and I felt like I was at a spiritual peak. And then out of nowhere, there was an argument I had with someone in the church, and they said something that kind of sent me into a mental spiral. And although that was resolved, what that person said stuck with me, and it really hurt. I really think that's just Satan trying to derail my joy because he knows God is trying to do great things with me. So Satan's trying to pull me away from that as much as he can. During that darkness, I started to curse God, literally curse at the ceiling, and express my frustration about why I'm relapsing into depressive thoughts again, based off of one little thing that one person said. Satan can do so much with just one little nudge, and I don't want him to have that rule over me, you know? It's so easy for Satan to just derail our joy, derail our happiness. You really have to lean on God heavily in those moments. But just because you've had anger towards God because of your darkness, it doesn't make you a failure in his eyes. You know, I mean, there are many people in the Bible who also were upset, just thought God had abandoned them, you know? You know, Job lost everything and he cursed the day he was born. You know, he was demanding answers from God, but he wasn't getting anything. But God still called him blameless and upright. And David also felt like he was abandoned. He wrote the Psalms like, "How long, Lord, will you forget me?" But God still called him a man after his own heart. Jeremiah felt deceived. And Jesus also cried out on the cross, you know, "Why have you forsaken me?" Yeah, I don't think God is testing you to see if you'll fake your joy when you feel like you're bleeding inside. I mean, he's looking for a relationship, not performance. And I think he appreciates us being real with our brokenness, you know? If anything, the honesty is the test. So, I mean, if you're trying to get back on track with your joy after being derailed, you know, it starts by bringing your pain honestly to God. Satan's going to try to strike over and over again. But God still holds the pen. He's still writing the story. And whatever door might be opening for you, it might still be open. Just because you get angry at God, it doesn't mean you're disqualified of your blessing, you know. You're human and God is still for you. That's all I wanted to say about that.